finished product. The wallet is basically a replica of a wallet that you already have. The customer already has, and it's designed to basically fit a clip right here, a money clip, and so the cash would then slide in right here and be held there. So let me go over the outside really quick. This is using what's called 207 polyester, and just for the record, 207 is about 31 pounds tensile strength. Now, an average human cannot break 15 pounds of polyester. That's 16-pound tensile strength. So this is 31 pounds in the outer threading, and the inner threading is 138, which is about 21 pounds of tensile strength. So yeah, I mean, you really shouldn't have to ever worry about these snapping. Polyester is very abrasion resistant, very UV and mildew resistant also, compared to like nylon or cotton anyway. So it's a very durable thread. That's actually the only thing I use is polyester, just because I think it's probably the best choice out there. So anyway, this here, I use the thinner thread. This is what's called 46 size, and it's 7-pound tensile strength, but I triple stitched it, so you probably can't tell, but a studded stitch here went down, up, and then back down. So there's 3 rows of stitching on top of each other on this pocket, and also the one that forms this pocket, which the stitch is like right about here. You can't see it, but so really it's equivalent to about 7 pounds times 3. So you really shouldn't have to worry about the thread coming loose or unraveling. Polyester has a nice degree of stretch to it. So what I'll talk about in a second is you need to break these pockets in a little bit. This leather, it's a very stiff leather, and it hasn't broken in. It's I guess new, so to speak. So with time and use from the heat from your body and the oils from your body, this will get softer, and it will develop a nicer patina. So like I have my watch band here, and this is actually the same dye, and I don't know if you can tell, but this has gotten darker, and it has a little like a patina shine to it. The wallet will get that too. It just takes a little bit of time. This is that Java brown I really like. It kind of does this marbling effect. I don't know if you can tell or not, but it has this really cool marbling effect where parts of the leather kind of come through. So yeah, but over time this will darken up just slightly. We'll get a nice shine to it, and same thing with the inside. This will also darken up a little bit and get a nice shine to it from just use. Let me explain. Okay, so this is machine stitch with thread I mentioned earlier, but I close my stitches off using a hand stitch, and so you can see. Let me see if I can show you that. So you can see right there, that is a hand stitch back stitch, and basically what happens is, because I'm using a bigger thread outside, when you hand stitch using what's called a saddle stitch method, you have 2 threads, and the threads kind of weave in and out of the hole. And that is actually a stronger stitch than a machine stitch, which is what's called a lock stitch. But to close off my ends, I like to use hand stitching because to me it's a more secure closure, and it's just a stronger stitch. So the 207 though ends up coming through. When you do that kind of weave in and out, it comes through on this side a little bit. So you can see that here. I also back stitched right there when I did this. So there might be that might be the only spot actually. Maybe right there. So there are a couple spots where I ended up closing the seam and then back stitching it by hand, just to make it more secure. But the thread itself, even with a machine stitch or lock stitch, you shouldn't have any issues with it because of the tensile strength. It is not your traditional, what you find on traditional store-bought wallets. It's nowhere close to that kind of thread. So it should last you quite a while. The pockets, right now I think I had 2 cards in each slot, and as you can tell, there's a slight molding effect happening, and you want that to happen because otherwise this leather is sitting flush flat, and you're gonna have a hard time getting cards in and out. So what I would recommend is, if you typically carry 2 cards in each slot, I would probably shove 3 cards in each slot, at least for the first, I don't know, week or two, just to kind of create this kind of flexibility, this bump out for the card. Otherwise, you're going to be struggling to get cards in and out. So yeah, same thing with the back one. You're going to have probably a harder time. I only have 3 cards with me right now, but if there's 2 cards in here, and there was 2 cards in here, you probably have a harder time getting these in and out. See, like, that's got some drag to it. But yeah, so that you're gonna have to kind of mold, kind of break in. And my recommendation would be to put more cards than necessary, just for the first week or two, until you can kind of get that to mold into, I guess the form you want it to. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, and the only other thing I'll mention is, I don't know if you can see up here. So the measurement from this edge to here, we had said was about 33 millimeters, I think. But I didn't want to start, I think the 33 millimeter marks fell between these 2 holes. So right in the middle of that stitch right there. I didn't want to poke another hole there because it would weaken the stitch. So I actually moved it just slightly over to start this line in that stitch hole, to create a stronger stitch. So it is moved over a millimeter. I don't think it will affect anything really. So yeah, the whole I guess set. Same thing with this. I wanted to start that stitch hole, to kind of create an even T right there, instead of having a stitch hole right there or right there. So then it comes down, and same thing, it meets right there in that stitch hole and that stitch hole. So yeah, I mean, that is, you can probably see there's a little, I shifted just slightly just so it hit that stitch hole. But the clip should fit without any issue right there. So yeah, anyway, hopefully this is what you have in mind. Oh, one more thing. Let me go over, if I can get this to focus, the edges really quick. There we go. So there's the edge. I know you were concerned about it being smooth, and it has a nice shine, a nice burnish to it. I don't know if you can tell or not from this camera angle and from the lighting. It has a nice smooth finish to it, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with how the edges came out. Especially since I thinned these leather pieces down to create more of a flush look right here. I mean, obviously it is still slightly thicker. Get the camera to focus again. There we go. Alright, so that is my basic review of the custom-made wallet. I hope this is what you had in mind. There were a couple things I needed to tweak, but overall, this should last you quite a few years. I don't anticipate it actually going out for a long time. Yeah, because all the leather on it is thicker, the threading is thicker than the first wallet, which this is replicating. Anyway, if you have any questions or concerns, let me know. But yeah. Alright, take care. Bye.